Hello and welcome to the channel. Still can't get a catchphrase. So today is a little bit scary because I'm off to get my MOT for BumbleBlade. There's still gremlins and bits and pieces, but I think everything's working as it should be, and if they do find something, well, that's the way it is. But it also marks exactly 1 year today that the restoration, well, it's not really restoration 100%, but getting back on the road, the 400 quid barn find, 1997 CBR 900 RRV. So what's it been like the last year? Well, obviously there's not been the massive amount of restoration videos, but there has been bits and pieces like, indicator problems, some electrical problems. I've done some videos on the rear shock, and another one will be coming soon on me setting up the blade suspension, the rear suspension, because I am absolutely f***ing dick when it comes to properly setting up the suspension. But apart from that, what's it been like to live with a 1997 Superbike for last year? And how does it compare to my 1992 VFR 750? And of course my much more modern 2021 Speed Triple 1200 RS. Well, if we look at the difference between the new bike, the newish bike, the Speed Triple, I mean that's got more power, electronics, wheelie control, cooling, ABS, 6-axis IMU traction control. Is that how you say it? It's got the works. It's comfortable. It's just ridiculously fast. It brakes like it just stops on a coin and a penny. And it can allow you, I suppose, to kind of get out of the shit a bit easier, a bit more effectively. When I jump on this, it literally is like going back in time. Now, I started riding in the late 80s. So I did all of the Naughties. And of course, I learned to ride on the technology available at the time, which was, I suppose, more attentive, look further ahead, you kind of develop a sixth sense, or you died, or hurt yourself. Now when I jump back on this, it's like a switch. I am straight back into that mode. Now this bike is as fast as my Speed Triple, speed-wise. Doesn't get there as quick, but it is ridiculously fast. Even with these upgraded hell brake lines, the braided lines, it's still not anywhere near the stylemas I've got on the Speed Triple. But you kind of take that into consideration, and it automatically does. Now I would think if you were a newer rider and you'd learned on newer bikes and then you got on one of these, you could potentially be in big trouble. These things have to be treated with so much more respect than a modern bike with all its safety aids. At the same point, which do I prefer? That's just not a question that I can answer, because there are days when I just want that modern TFT, all of the rider age, ridiculous power, modern fit and finish, although actually, to tell you the truth, modern fit and finish isn't as good as maybe it used to be. And there are days when I just itch for that raw, sadistic, nutty, crazy feeling you get when riding something like this. It's a challenge. It comes back. You come back from a ride and you feel alive. You feel like you've tamed a beast. Let's go back and compare it to my 1992 VFR 1992 750. Similar, very similar, the riding style. However, I think the VFR 750 fit and finish is just unbelievable. But then again, that was the sports tourer. That was designed to break, to change people's attitudes. This was just about pure speed. So for me, it's not. I don't have to choose which one I want to ride. The morning I wake up for a ride, the bike tells me which one I'm taking out. What about the disadvantages of this for a 90s bike, especially one that's maybe been left in a barn for a number of years? Well, first of all, they are getting harder and harder to maintain. I used to buy everything I needed from like Wiimoto or Fowlers. You could just find every part of these bikes. It is now getting more and more difficult. More and more, out of stock parts are out of stock. it is without a doubt becoming more of a challenge, and will become more of a challenge. What's this guy doing? Oh yeah, there's a lorry there. You're let off, Mr. BMW. It is getting more and more of a challenge, and the parts are getting really expensive. eBay is still a fairly good source for parts, and that's where a lot of my stuff has come from recently, because Fowlers and Wiimoto, it's just like out of stock. But as time goes on, that will get harder. Another thing that's going to get more difficult when maintaining and riding these old beauties. Well, we've got the ULEZ in London, haven't we? I can't take this into London unless I want to pay 12 quid, which apparently is going to go up to 16. And you can bet your life that's coming to a town near you and near me at some point. We will eventually be just forced off the road. And then what's going to happen to these old beauties? Well, I mean, the VFR, that's 33 years old. So technically when it gets to 40 years old, I will be able to use it. This maybe have to be taken off the road for a few years until it gets to the magic 40. Will I even be alive? That's to be seen. Although I'm pretty sure by then they would have also changed the rules on that, saying anything that burns evil petrol can't be used anymore, and you've got to have an electric vehicle all made in China using carbon fuels. Carbon-based fuels. But let's not get into the politics because it's not good for the channel. So, presuming it gets through its MOT, we're off for another year with BumbleBlade. Things to do. The next big job is chain and sprockets. Although I think I'm still okay, and considering I'm still using the one that I de-rusted when I got the bike, I think it's done pretty good, and I've just got a little bit more in it, but maybe the MOT station today will say no. So stick around. I don't think I'll film at the MOT because obviously it's their job. Maybe I will, but I'll definitely let you know the results and pass, fail, and if it's a fail, anything that needs doing. Last time round I got the advisories. Well, actually the first particular failed at about 50 things. Exhaust bracket broken, sticky switch on the high beam, low beam, rusty, everything was wrong. That got through. Go and check that video. There was a couple of advisories. There was the rusty springs and misting on the rear shock, so that needed either rebuilding or replacing. I have of course changed it for a Hagen recently, and I will rebuild the original that came with the bike, the Showa. But right now I've got the Hagen, and absolutely, swear by them. Had one on the VFR for 8 years now, it's still going strong. And there was apparently some rust on the suspension linkage, but I'm not quite sure what that meant, and I haven't really found anything. So if it's still there, they'll tell me today. Hopefully not fail me. If it fails, like I said, I'll fix anything that is broken. Right, I'll see you at the MOT station, and then maybe we'll have a chat on the way back. Hello.
It's our favourite YouTubing.
Yeah. Come on, do a little dance. Do a little dance. Oh, I'm good. What are you doing with that? Right, so did it pass or did it fail? Well, it passed. With flying colours, no advisories, nothing. So it's all good. And Mick Sermons is a really great mechanic. So if you are in the Aylesbury area, in or around, then I highly recommend them. Great chaps, very knowledgeable, really down to earth, very friendly. Anything from MOTs to full services, valve checks. They know a lot about the older bikes, so as you can see there's a lot of them go in there. They've been involved in racing for many years. So an absolutely fantastic place. It's just also great to pop in for a chat. Like I said, really down to earth guys. So I'll put the links to them in the description below. Definitely worth checking them out. And well, that's you know, BumbleBlade's first birthday. It's officially 1 year old today. We forget the years before I owned it. So BumbleBlade passed its 1 year medical, like I said, with flying colours, and that makes me feel almost special, like, you know, really, really clever me, you know, because they had so many advisories and problems last time around, and I fixed them all. One thing though they said to me was, on idle, it's not quite as smooth as it should be, and possibly just needs, the carbs need a little fettle, you know. Obviously, since it was done over a year ago, it's done a lot of miles since then. A lot of fuel has gone through it, a lot of, you know, fuel cycles, and it's probably cleaned out some more crud that was in there somewhere. And he said just needs a little fettle. So I can either do that myself, or I'd completely trust them. I'd, you know, give them a call one day, pop in, leave it then for a few hours, give it a little bit of some carb love. Carbs aren't always bad. So yeah, great day. Happy birthday, BumbleBlade. Many more miles to come. Many more videos for those that follow. And well, thanks for watching the video, especially if you've got this far. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.